Okay, so placing my hand on my heart, taking that breath of love and gratitude. So grateful and thankful for this time to come together with these beautiful souls. Grateful for our willingness to be the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful for our dedication and devotion to shining away any and all blocks to love. We're allowing them to dissolve and resolve back to the nothingness from which they came. We're grateful for our willingness to just let them fall away and know that we are one in the mind of God, perfect, whole, and complete. We're grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask that they join us, blessing us, guiding us, leading us, inspiring us as we have our conversation today. May it be fruitful and healing. Grateful to acknowledge that we are willing to be great receivers of the all good that's going to come from this conversation today. And we're grateful to share the benefits of everything that we are and all that we receive with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and divine gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And I invite you to remain in this prayerful state with your eyes closed. Taking a deep breath. We'll focus on projecting our collective energy out to around March of 2025, anywhere in America. Visualize feeling the fresh air, hearing the birds, singing, seeing people smiling, because everything went perfectly for the most beneficial outcome for the United States and the world regarding our presidential election. And we're not just seeing it, we're really feeling it, taking it within every cell, fiber, and function of our being, employing all the senses. Picture yourself standing fully engaged in the precise situation you wish to manifest. Don't view it as a future event, but rather believe that it's real right here, right now. You're looking around you and everything is good. Pressure is off. The worry is gone. You are centered and in your power, because now there is no fear or worry or anything else. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And in the exhale, release this energy into the world to be absorbed and expanded. You can open your eyes now and come back to this present moment. So thank you for allowing me to do this visualization each week. You know, if anybody has any feedback about that, please feel free to share it. I just think it's a positive way to put energy spin on what's happening here. So this week we are focusing on Chapter 2, Section 4, the Reinterpretation of Defenses. And this was very, it was perfect for what I've been working through this week, as everything always is. I'm going to start us with paragraph 3 and 4, where he says, intellectualization is a poor word, which stems from the brain-mind confusion. Right-mindedness is better. This device defends the right mind and gives it control over the body. Intellectualization implies a split, whereas right-mindedness involves healing. Withdrawal is properly employed in the service of withdrawing from the desert. It is not a device for escape, but consolidation. There is only one mind. And then reading the little notes at the bottom, 63, 64, and 65. Intellectualization, unconsciously protecting yourself from the emotional stress of personal problems or fears by reasoning them away rather than facing them. To say that right-mindedness is a reinterpretation of intellectualization is to imply that there is a healthy way to reason away one's fears, a way that doesn't split you off from them, but heals them instead. In other words, you should withdraw from the desert of the world, not to escape from difficulties and from others, but to consolidate yourself with others and thus with the one mind of which we are all a part of. So I'm still working through this challenge that I talked about either last week or the week before with my former drum circle co-facilitator. And I have been having realizations that it is definitely entangled with challenges that I had with my mother and thoughts that I've had around my son. Desiring not to have him have the same experiences that I had with my mom, feeling like I was entangled with her and like in charge of her happiness. But I also know that what I resist persists. So the thing that I've been kind of struggling with this past week or so is that so I have stepped away from the regular weekly or bi-weekly drum circles. And after the experience that I had at the last drum circle that we had, I was really feeling like it was not in integrity with what I would like for my participants in anything to experience, because it felt like my drum circle co-facilitator was in a space where she was like wallowing in self-pity or just being angry. She wasn't participating. And at one point, she even got up and went into the bathroom and was in there for 10 minutes. And I'm not here to judge her. She was where she was. But what I'm really feeling is I don't want that experience to be duplicated in the two things that we have scheduled, that we already agreed to do. And so I've been really struggling with that because I believe that when I commit to something that I'm going to stick with it. But I also know that my personality can be loyal to a fault. And I feel like that is what I am doing. Instead of saying to myself, okay, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I do not want to go to this psychic fair or the event at the Erie Zoo and have people experience what was experienced at our last drum circle. I would much rather call them and say, look, I know this is only 3 weeks away, but I can't do this. And if she wants to step up, she can, but I don't feel like it is in my best interest or the best interest of anybody that would be experiencing that to co-facilitate those two things with her. And that's really hard for me because, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And so this is like not what my personality would normally do. So, but what I'm getting is I'm getting so many, like Jennifer talked about. I was listening to her class from Monday and she was talking about how when she was in ministerial school, how people would come to her and say, we're going to form this committee and we're going to have a meeting and we'd really like your energy to be in this. And she would say, no, thank you. And, sometimes people would be very insistent, like, well, what are you doing instead? And she would just say, I don't know yet, but not this. Spirit is not telling me that this is something that I'm to be doing. So, and I have to say that I just kind of came to this realization like this morning. So it's still a little wobbly. So who knows, things might change in the next couple of days before I actually reach out to her. But yeah. So, reading this, right-mindedness and the intellectualizing and the split and like all of this withdrawing from the desert, I was like, okay, God, this is hysterically funny that that this is what's going through my mind and this is what we're reading right now. So thank you for that. So thanks everybody for listening. Mary Lee.
I have a couple questions about what you've just been saying, if it's all right.
Yeah.
As I got the well, first, I was going to ask how many are involved in the drumming circle, right? That you said that you would just soon not participate in this function. How many, like, is it 4 or 40 or 12?
Honestly, I was not the one that set up the psychic fair event, so I have no idea how many people will be there. And she is free to do it on her own, as well as the event at the zoo. This would be our second year doing that. And I think we had maybe 5 people that joined us last year. And again, I know that because she loves drumming, I use it as a tool to help me heal. Drumming is not my very favorite thing to do. I would much rather be here with you all or dancing with somebody than drumming. And so I honestly don't know.
I have a couple other thoughts on that because I'm not one involved in drumming, but I do know someone that it's hers went into a lot of different psychic things rather than just the drumming. And I guess these are all things you already know, all of us already know, but different strokes for different folks and at different times.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know when I've gotten in a situation like what it sounds like you have come to, that I consider what is my best avenue to portray the communication that I want to give.
Mm-hmm.
And though there might be some here that say, well, you're kind of advocating, Mary Lee, going through the back door. Well, I'm just saying, if for you to come right face to face, see, for me, if that's going to stop me from if I've come to the conclusion this event is not the right timing for me in the
Right.
space that I'm in or whatever, it just doesn't sound right. And if I can't say it face to face to the person, or some people, of course, are going to challenge your decision, right? They're going to maybe not purposely try to make you feel guilty, but maybe in the way that they present their thoughts is going to kind of add either anxiety or like that. There are many avenues that we can use. And I, being a writer, I like to write my thoughts. The one big advantage is you are not interrupted. Okay? Because too often what we really want to say gets interrupted and we kind of lose our train of, or even don't, want to hear what they're saying. Because so there's many avenues, of course, of writing our thoughts because we can be real clear. This just isn't the thing for me at this time. I'm sincerely wishing for it to be all that you would like it to be for you or
Yeah.
something like that. But you can say the whole works and it, there's texts, there's emails, there's, oh my God, regular mail, right? I mean, so few use that mode anymore, but it's a way that you can really portray that you are thinking about this. And of course, text is faster if you don't have time for it to be regular mail. But I just think it's so good to follow your own heart, what you're saying. And as I say that to others, I say it to me
Mm-hmm.
because it's so sometimes hard to do that. I'm a people pleaser.
Right there with you.
And to not please someone else, and then even, like conflicted, but in my heart know that this isn't. So I applaud you for getting to that space, of saying,
Yeah.
I don't even really want to do this. I'm not even sure of all the implications,
Yeah.
but then consider the mode that you want to portray that to her. Whomever that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary Lee. I appreciate that. And yeah, um, text or email is probably the best way for me to go now that you're mentioning it and I'm thinking about it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Paula.
I was gonna, I can so relate. I facilitated a group for 4 years with the same co-facilitator, and she decided that she didn't want to do it anymore. And she said, "How do you feel about that?" And I said, "Well, you need to do what you need to do." So then another person from the group agreed to be the co-facilitator, and then after talking to the other one, they both decided to do it together. Those two do it, and there I was left hanging, by myself. And then I was asked how I felt about it, and I was radically honest for the first time in my life. I said, I feel abandoned. I feel
Mm,
like I'm in high school and the little clique is is all getting together and I'm left out because I'm whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I realize this is my shit. This is something I need to deal with. And I appreciate you guys doing this because it's bringing up a tremendous healing for me. And this person kept saying, oh, I feel terrible. I said, I'm not telling you for you to feel terrible. That's for you to work it out. I'm just telling you, I am so grateful that this happened. That's how I feel. And I am healing that part that I didn't even know I still had. So I really appreciate it. And I really meant that.
Yeah.
And she's like a wonderful person. It all turned out to be so beautiful. But at first I have to go through my damn abandonment and my unworthiness, bleh, all that stuff. And I didn't have to do it this time. I could just flick it away like I would a fly and
Yeah.
go on with my life. So, you know, and it's all in this book. I love this text. And we know where our truth comes from.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is ask for the guidance and it's there.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else like to share any comments on what I've shared or what anybody else has shared or what anything in our reading from this week? Oh, you want to share?
Oh, hi, everybody. Can I just briefly, did I
Yeah.
talk over somebody?
No, go ahead, Grace.
Okay. So I've got to drive somewhere today, so I'm going to just listen in. But before I set off, I just wanted to say how grateful I am for bringing up situations that are happening to us, because that's when the rubber hits the road, right? Because otherwise it's all up here in theory. And I just really appreciate all the sharing and you, Linda, because you always bring your life to this to this meeting. It just I just find it so helpful, and I just find the comments and the reactions like Mary Lee and Paula today, but it can be any of us on any day. I just appreciate people just being straight up about their feelings. It's like you're like role models for me to be authentic and be with my feelings. And, you know, I mean, to say what Paula just said, I don't know if I'd have had the courage to say that.
Yeah.
But you're my role model. So yeah, it can be done. So I'm going to have to go off camera while I drive, but I'm listening in, and I just wanted to express my appreciation for you all today and every week.
Yeah. Thank you, Grace. I feel the same way. I feel the same way about you.
Oh yeah, and I got stuff.
We all do. We all do. It's all, yep. Safe travels, my friend.
Love you all.
Love you too. Diane and then Carla.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing, Linda, and how open and vulnerable you are. And for me, I've been through a similar situation recently with my sisters and needing to say no when normally I'm the yes, yes, I'll be there, whatever. I will drop everything and just be there. And I felt like I was being guided to, like, this time just keep saying no and being like, I can't do that yet, I'm available for this. And it was interesting because at the time it was all the stuff that was happening at that moment that was all up. But really what it led me to was so much deeper childhood stuff that I was just like, and I'm still unraveling it and getting to the point where I could actually speak to them in a place where I want to be coming from. So I guess I just wanted to share that and just let you know, like, just knowing that I'm not alone, and like knowing that, you know, we're all on this path that most people are not on. So, you know, it's challenging at times and can feel lonely at times. So thank you for sharing. And
Thank you.
I feel you.
Yeah, just sending love to you and your sisters. Everything happens for our good, man. Doesn't feel like it all the time, but it does. Carla, and then Nancy Gale.
Okay. I'll just share that. I mean, in reading this section, I had a really hard time with intellectualization, all the definitions, all the words and all the definitions, because here's the truth. What seems like true, but whatever, I'm sharing. We give everything a meaning. And so I've noticed, I'll share this as it. At one time, I don't even speak to my sister anymore. And at one time, I thought that writing her would be safe because I wouldn't have my own negative energy around it. And so, and at some point, she stopped that. And because I realized this, it is to some degree the negative energy that I bring to that. But it's also when they read it, it's their energy. Our words can be the same words, that loving words, that if they want to see it a certain way, and that's where I want to go to. So there's a couple of things. It's chapter 11. I like that. Stuff and I couldn't get it. Then I got to something I felt more peaceful with. Chapter 11, there are many so other dynamic concepts which are profound errors. And I could go on, which are due to such misuse of defenses. Sometimes the sentences are too long for me, but there are no errors. There are only making choices, more loving and less loving. We have to give some definition to it, right? But I know whatever choice you make, it'll be not just the highest, but it'll be utilized by God for the good of all. And let's see, and I wanted to read this question because this seemed so, I don't know where to start. The real question still remains, what do you treasure? And how much do you treasure it? That's really important because, I mean, it's all judgment. That I'm on my wall in Pennsylvania or in Oregon. I had stuff that really hit me, all that I make into a writing thing, and this is one, is it question everything you think you know, and then do something. And doesn't mean there's never, this is what the dynamic is, that you're wrong, you should have chosen this. No, we cannot choose wrongly. Everything, every choice is woven into the very fabric of life. You can't screw up life. Life is what it is, right? And it's who makes that judgment that it's wrong or an error. I mean, you can see it. We can see, oh, I could have chosen something more loving or whatever. And the words are too, but this is the higher self sees the truth, sees what happens, and then has no attachment to whatever is chosen by us, them, because I realized whenever I see an error in somebody else, it is within. I'm seeing it within myself, because there is only one. How can something be out there? And then there is only one. So, and I'm sharing this not with for you all to learn, that it's for me to learn. That is only why I ever share truth. Cannot be owned. There is no truth, but only love, I guess, is the only truth. But it's only shared. And who am I teaching? I'm not teaching you, I'm teaching myself. How? Through our choices. Through not judging our choices and not judging anybody else's choice. Just being whatever is chosen. And wherever we are in life, in our awareness, is kind of the, what's the word? I don't know, repercussions or consequences, I don't know, of past choices. You know, like, oftentimes I have blamed myself. Oh, I got myself into this pickle. I've done this. Well, no. That is only an opportunity to love myself. And that is a really big key. And I think loving yourself, no matter what you see other people do, because we're one, right? And loving yourself with whatever choice you make. Kiss yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Thanks for all of that. Thanks for teaching you and teaching us. Nancy Gale.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. I love the way Mary Lee expressed herself today in her thoughts. And speaking about, I didn't know you were a writer, but that's evident. Writing your thoughts down because you won't be interrupted, et cetera, et cetera. I totally understand, totally get that. It's like so beautiful. And let's see, every person that's spoken so far has a kernel or a gem, a piece of perfection, thought, love. Express the love in a beautiful way and putting it all together. And how to, like Mary Lee, how to express what you want, how you want. I took a writing course and I did some of that stuff too. And it's like the reader, always let's like consider the reader, that who you are writing for, if it's a one person or if it's just a group or whatever. But you're writing, you have a message to give to that person or the group or whatever. And when you're writing, it's like, okay, this is what I've learned how to consider the reader, what they call it, the milieu, or the at the time that they're reading, that you have to consider the person, their environment, and in the conditions in the world and all the thought processes that are going on at that time when they read what I wrote. Okay, so but I have to, as a writer, consider the readers and whatever's going, health culture and thought processes and beliefs and all that kind of stuff change from generation to generation, centuries to centuries. And okay, so how they're going to hear your message. It's the same. Okay, anyway, and so so I go back to and each person was like, it's just so beautiful listening to this. So my example is when I hurt my knee. I did that job I drove for Medical Motors for 15 years to 15 years to the day. Anyways, and then the year that my husband died, my ex-husband died in November, then in that January, my daughter died. And then and I did it, there was no grief time. My doctor got me, what did she do? 2 weeks off. But that's all, and then, it wasn't, it was the perfect job. And then they say you have something that you love to do and you get paid to do it. It's not work. I never once and any morning ever said, I gotta go to work. Never. Never, never, never. I would have done that for no pay. It was great. I got paid for it. But after Gina died, it was like everything changed. First of all, okay, I'll make this brief. The human resource person, I had told her what, if people ask just to tell them, or just to put up a little notice on the board and say, I'm, why I'm not there at the moment. She didn't do that. I found out later she didn't do it. So, nobody. So then I go back, and this one guy that he was a ex-Marine and motorcycle guy, and he comes out in the parking lot and he says, wow, look like somebody died. And I said, yes, my daughter passed away. And he just went in the building. And I didn't realize at the time. And then I looked, and it's like, and I got so freaking mad. And it's because when I started at that company 15 years before that, I didn't know anybody, but I would go in, and on the door there would be like a little piece of paper with a picture of somebody who had been a driver, had passed away. And I thought that was really nice. I mean, that was nice. And then later on, apparently she put it up or something or somewhere or something. And somebody said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. And he said, well, anyway. So anyways, so that continued. So that was in January that she passed away. So this is February. So then all that summer, it's like all the rest of that year until August, that was the year that I really was like depressed and grieving all that. And my whole attitude changed. It was like the world is just like that I loved. Well, anyway, so it comes August, and I go, it was Monday morning, I go to, no, it was a Friday. I go to pick up this new client, an older lady, and pull in her driveway. I was in the minivan and parked, and it was like a gravel driveway. And then the house was set back a little. So somebody was walking her to the van. And so I got her, I helped her in, and she's not going to put her seatbelt on. She's not, the lady throws this oxygen little on the floor. I said, no, well, that's got to be, what do you call it? Tied, with a seatbelt and all that. No, I was sleeping on the floor. No, I said, you got to wear your seatbelt. I didn't say it like that. It's like, this is what we do. It's got that safety is like projectiles. If we get in an accident, it could kill me, whatever. Then I grab her walker, and I walk around to put it in the other side. And there was a hose. I had parked over a hose that was across. And as soon as I got to there, I tripped on that hose. And I said, so I've got a walker. Well, it's got the four things, right? My head. I got a walker for it. So I grab it. Only the lady had bungeed it shut. So there's only 2. And so it's go like this, and I'll right down on my knee. Right down on my knee. And I just said that, and I hear the ladies inside the passenger. I knew that was going to happen. Anyways, so then I made her. Well, anyways, that's where. So, and anyways, and I was like, anyways, so it's okay. All right. To shorten up this story, it's like it turned out that I went to the urgent care, the whatever, they took an x-ray, and the lady says, you have a deep vein bruise right on the kneecap. But she didn't write down on that on the sheet. So anyways, I said, are you going to take me off the road? Because by that time I couldn't walk. No, that you have to go. So I'll go to the human resource. And I said, there is no light duty. Not in our company. There was no light duty. She says, well, you can drive a car. I said, I can't drive anything. Because it's this, and it's like, and besides which, I got 4 things I'm not supposed to do. Can't walk for like more than 10 minutes, can't stand more than 10 minutes, can't climb stairs, can't carry anything heavy, can't lift anything, right? I said, I got infant seats and all this other stuff, right? I said, so I said, well, I can't. So I just continued to call in sick according to the rules that we've been doing for all those years. And
Nancy Gale, is this going to wrap around to what
yeah,
we're talking
it
about?
goes
Okay.
it goes to the finally, and I was getting it. So I went to the doctors, my doctor. Eventually I had bronchitis or something a couple of times, and I was told her what was going on. And she said they're not treating you right. Oh, and then I got a letter that said I had 2 more unexcused absences. I said, what? If I got 2 more, I would be fired. I said, what is this? And I called them up. It turns out they had changed between when Gina and them, they died in that spring. They had changed the rules, and I never got the memo thing about it. So I was just following what we normally did. And I said, what are you called? Anyways, we tried. So I said, well, I can go, you can wipe the slate clean and I'll start over. But the same rules would apply, and I still couldn't drive anything consistently. It's like, and that's where the knee is. That's where I'm still at, right? So anyways, so then I went to the doctors, and that Monday, and I told her what was going on. She said, they're not treating you right. And I said, before I went that day, I said, whatever I decided, whatever you told me, I was going to either quit or not. And I never quit anything. And so that was 3:00 in the afternoon. I went out to the car, and I called base, and I said, I'm going to quit. Please tell me what to do. I've never quit a job. Tell me what I have to do. She said, well, what day? I said, I don't know. Today is fine. Whatever. Tomorrow. And she said, just write me a letter, and just say that and all that. I said, okay. When do you want it? Well, as soon as possible. That was a Monday. So I waited to Thursday, and I wrote this letter. And it comes to what Mary Lee was saying about how you write the letter. Because I was so angry and upset and everything. And I was going, you just like, and then I started writing like that. Then I ripped it up and I said, no, I'm going to leave behind I'm not going to sabotage my future chances of something, right? With saying something like that. I wrote a very short and sweet letter and thanked them for the opportunity to serve my community and people in my community with that job and everything and like that. That's I can't remember exactly, but that was like, and I waited until like about 4 or 5:30 5 in the afternoon when most people be gone, and I went in and I gave it to them. And then so that's what I did. I thought about, and then I started writing, and then I said, no, this is how I'm going to do it. That's how I wrote. But I did like what Mary Lee said. And so I took it in, and so he was walking me back out past the dispatch window, and I looked in, and there's a, where are you going? It's like, I'm leaving. And I looked in the window, and it's like, what do you mean? I'm leaving. You're not coming back? No. And I said, no, I'm not coming back. And Laura, she's this type of person that's all these years. She will never, you could never hug her, nothing. I saw her get up. So I walked around and I walked in and I said, I want to hug. And she grabs me like this. And right in my ear, she's looking out back out the window, that window to the hall, to the supervisor. And she screams, I want to come with you and never come back to this place. I said, Laura's like, okay. It's just like she had been waiting for like 20 years to say something like that. Anyways, but it's like, and that was like the hug that I got, and it was like, okay, Laura. But anyways, I knew I had done it the right way. I knew I had done it the right way.
Yeah.
And when Mary Lee explained that, it's like, that so beautifully. You know how I'm going on a million words for a picture, right? Whatever. Thank you, Mary Lee. And it's like, writing slows my mind down because I can't write as fast as I can think. And by myself, I don't get interrupted, etc., etc. It's just so, and that's why I appreciate, when you ask questions, Mary Lee, it's like I love listening to your process when you, as you're talking and you get the question and you ended up coming to your own conclusion. I love it. I just love it. So thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I appreciated it.
Thanks so
Oh,
much.
one more thing with Dove, when he was talking on Sunday, he was talking about the world being the less classroom and all that, and it's like, and the things that happen, and it's like, all things are planned, gently planned by one who loves, And I said, and he said that for your good, like you said, and then it's like, but I was like, I said, finally, I said, well, what is my good, and blah blah blah, all this stuff in my life, and I said, I'm asking the wrong question. I said, I changed it to, it's like, what's the lesson? What is the lesson? And that's like, changed my, so anyways, thank you for listening all these years. Please
Thanks.
accept my gratitude, because that's been the healing, being heard.
Thank you, my friend. Mary Lee.
I was just going to add that when Nancy Gale was saying that if I got the order of things right, that when your daughter died and they said, oh, you can have 2 weeks or something, that would be a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Like, no, I need way more time than 2 weeks. I'm not even starting to think of, coping with this 2 weeks. And it sounded, though I'm not 100% sure of the timeline there, but it just sounded like your work with falling down on your knee and hurting your knee. And it just seems like Spirit was saying, take time for yourself, take time for yourself. And all these things telling that. And sometimes we can have this a real dedication to duty. And it kind of works around as to what Linda said at the very beginning of, oh, well, I probably should do this. I can't, no, I don't. Well, if we can listen to ourselves and then follow through on that, you needed more than 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
That wasn't even gonna start the process. So it just seemed like all those life things were leading you to no, I just need time in front of me to heal.
Conspiring for her good.
Yes.
Everything does. I know the thing with
Yeah.
my drum circle co-facilitator, what has come up just during our conversation today is another blessing that this is having for me is that I get to face telling what I treasure and how I treasure it,
Mm-hmm.
and let go of any fear that I have of what she is going to, how she is going to respond or reply to me. How she reacts is none of my business, and I don't need to take it personally. And yeah, no more intellectualization.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Mary Lee. Thank you. I agree, Mary. The thing was, all those years, it's like, and that job, I just loved it, but always did it the right way. What are the rules? And I follow the rules. That's how I was raised, you know. Anyway, and it was like, and after all of that, you couldn't give me it's like,
No, you got a blessing, Nancy Gale.
right. So that was
It is
telling me,
that it was.
yeah, it's time to leave. And
Yeah.
so, and I didn't pay attention. And well, it's like in that state of mind, you don't pay attention to those things.
Yeah. Sometimes
you
we
do
need
what
to be
you're
hit upside the head with a 2x4 before we listen.
right. So that was the knee thing. And that's why I'm now down here with my daughter. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Anybody else have anything that they would like to share or discuss before we close today? Amira.
I bet I wouldn't be healing at the moment. I would not be where I am at the moment. And now is where I'm healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never would have happened that way otherwise.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Thank you
Heather.
so much, Linda, for your share. It gave me courage to kind of really quickly tell you guys what's going on with my apartment. So nothing has been done. It's been it's April. So next month, early next month, it will be 1 year that I have not been able to use my unit at all. They're not moving on it. Nobody's having association meetings. They keep saying they're doing investigative work. And as I'm even talking about it, there's such heat rising inside me. I'm noticing how angry I am. And I know, like Linda, you were saying, this is bringing up something to be really healed. It's reminding of me of bullies in my life, including the first one that was my mother, and getting away with it and all of that stuff. And so there's a part of me that wants to just fight this. And I have not at all. One of the other people that their unit has been damaged, although very minor compared to mine, but we can't fix any of them because even if we wanted to pay out of pocket to fix, mine is about $15,000, his is about $3,000. We can't even do that because the adjacent balcony needs to be fixed in order for us to fix. Anyway, he wants to go see an attorney. I've been sitting on my hands and I haven't. And the other two people, one is a Japanese girl, a young girl in her 20s. She's very shy and she's like, I'll just wait. And it's, her unit, she's like, at least I can live in mine, even though her wall is completely ripped out. And I said, well, what if this takes another year, 6 months? She said, yeah, I'll just have to wait, so she's not willing to go. So it's the other guy that's been sort of emailing me. I really want to go see an attorney. This is going to be, 1 year. And I think there's a statute of limitations and blah, blah, blah. And I haven't been responding and I don't know what to do. I'm just so confused. The course says peace, peace, peace. So I'm like not going to legal route, but at the same time, I want my freaking place fixed so I can get out of there, sell it and
Yeah.
go, cut my losses. So just wanted to just express that and have you guys please pray for the highest and best outcome for everyone,
Yes.
not just me, for the other 8 units in that building, including the woman who's doing this. And I know she's just vindictive, and because we didn't listen to her when we were on the board, and she wanted these past management company out, and we thought it wasn't a good idea when we're having all these damages. And sure enough, it hasn't been. We changed management companies, and here we are a year later. Anyway, just wanted to express that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hamira, for sharing that. And I'm just knowing that whatever will bring you peace is what is going to happen. And that it might be hiring a lawyer and fighting the management company. It might be that. So your anger could be used for good. And just know that,
Linda, I'm so scared of this woman though. She threatens, she's like, oh, it's because you guys were on the board. Now, I didn't do anything except clean up around the building. Like I was like what do you call those? Like a figurehead. I didn't do anything on the board except clean stuff and call people when they needed to come. It's because of you weren't doing oversight, so we could sue you. So I'm terrified of her. She's a bully, so I'm not like acting because I'm afraid of her retaliation and how much worse it will get, for me. And I know that's also fear driven, me not taking action. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's me too, not wanting to speak to my drum circle co-facilitator because I'm afraid of how she will react. I'm afraid of how she will respond. I'm afraid of what she will say and what she will tell other people about me and about me not following through. Those are the reasons why I was staying in this. But one of the things that I'm grateful for, and I know you will get these little taps on your shoulder too, is I heard a song that my mother used to sing to me when I was a kid. And when I was hearing it in my head, I was thinking to myself, holy crap, this is really like narcissistic. The lyrics in this song are so narcissistic. And then somebody, like within less than an hour of me hearing it in my head while I was like in the shower, posted it on our WhatsApp feed in the Power of Love Ministry, the same song. And I'm like, okay, so this is my mother talking to me, that, this is a narcissistic tendency to be aware of. The other thing is that this first event that we have committed to is on my father's birthday.
Wow.
And so what I'm knowing is that my parents are holding me up as I'm doing this, and holding me up as I am stepping out of my pattern of being loyal to a fault to myself, and out of the pattern of being afraid of what other people's reactions are going to be, being afraid of, not being the person that lifts her up, and being afraid of what she's going to say to other people and what they will think of me. Because what I know is people that know me are going to know if she's bullshitting them or not. If she says anything about me that is not true, they're going to know. If they know me, they know. And if they don't know me and they take what she says, if she does, and I don't even know if she's going to say anything to anybody. This is just the speculative crap that was rolling around in my brain. I'm not interested in living in that fear anymore. And so I know that you will also receive your own messages, nudges from spirit that will guide you to what is yours to do. And that Your fear and your anger will be used for your good.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everybody.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
have me in your prayers, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
You're welcome. Anybody want to share any last thing before we go? All righty. So next week, we are in section 5, the Atonement as Defense, which is pages 73 through 76. Just at the very top of 76 is the last sentence. So that's where we will be reading from today, or for next week. And let's see how long this puppy is. It's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to quickly as I can, read the insights from today's lesson from our friends at Pathways of Light. Lesson 107, truth will correct all errors in my mind. Right? Anytime I feel anxious, impatient, hurried, unhappy, guilty, or less than peaceful in any way, it is a sign that I am believing in error. I am making an error real in my mind. Truth will correct that error in my mind and return me to the place of calm, so deep it cannot be disturbed. Truth is everywhere, ever present. There is no place I need to go, no place I need to be to find the truth. It is always with me. It's right here, right here. I only need to stop holding barriers against the truth, stop believing in errors. This is the undoing referred to in the Course. I need do nothing to find the truth, but I do need to stop interfering with the awareness of truth. It is the feverish attempt to hold on to the illusion and to make them real that bars the truth from healing my mind. As I stop holding on to error, the truth will enter of its own, because truth is what I am in reality. So today I ask my one self to walk with me and guide my vision to recognize the illusions I have made that stand in the way of my awareness to truth. I accept this strength as mine and use that strength to let illusions go. It is the strength of the one self in me through which I forgive the world, forgive myself, and let truth correct all illusions in my mind. I rest in peace and gratitude in the strength of myself. The weight of the world is lifted from my shoulders, and the errors of the world are corrected as I let truth correct the errors in my mind. God's peace is mine. I accept it now. With gratitude, I offer that peace to all the world. When I closed my eyes, I was shown a movie theater. The way to see the movie in this theater was to look through the body's eyes. Through the body's eyes, pictures were seen where everything appeared to be separate and distinct, different and unique. Many stories arose while looking through the body's eyes, and gradually I found myself becoming more and more engrossed with the stories. They seemed very real. These stories were about individual lives where individual identities lived and died. There were stories of victory and tragedy, competition, life and death. As I became more and more engrossed in the stories, I felt feelings of fear, elation, lack, anxiety, struggle, hanging on, and constant, ever-changing ups and downs. The stories went on and on with one problem after another. My anxiety level went up and down with all the constant changes in the story. The stories are tiring. I ask for a better way. I am told to step back from the stories by ever so little, to detach my mind from them. I am asked to let my mind be quiet and give the stories a rest. As I do this, I am brought to an inner place of quiet, a place of inner peace. An inner voice tells me that these stories are not real. These stories are hallucinations brought on by the desire to see individuality, specialness, separation from oneness. I ask, how do I detach from these stories? They seem so real, it seems impossible to detach from them. The inner voice says, you can with help. If you don't want to detach from your stories, you won't. If you want to detach from the stories, you will. Truth will enter into your mind as it is given welcome. Practice giving welcome to the truth a little at a time every day. The more you practice, the stronger your welcoming the truth muscles grow. You want to walk in truth, but you must practice it. At first a little and then more and more. The more you practice, the stronger your willingness to welcome the truth becomes. The truth is always there, waiting on welcome. The truth will always show you that the stories are not real. Individuality could never be real. What you see through the body's eyes is not real. You are infinite spirit, the eternal spirit of love, joy, and peace. You are changeless. You are thought in the mind of love. Love gives all to all equally. There is no division of any kind. All is one. All is love. The stories are not real. They are barriers to the truth. As you practice welcoming the truth will correct all errors in your mind. The veil will be lifted and you will be set free from the self-imposed tyranny of the stories of separation. Take time out to let the truth correct all errors in your mind. Nothing is more important than this. I agree that nothing is more important. I am more aware of my stories as stories and more determined to let them go. But I noticed that many of the stories have the same theme, even though the stories are different. I read a couple of articles that talked about the need for struggle as a core belief. We sometimes say something like, God uses our struggles to help us grow. The article suggested a new core belief based on learning through joy and peace. I think that this is true of me, and I am glad for these last several lessons which emphasize joy and peace. Getting a little distance from my stories, I can see that I have been more comfortable with struggle than with peace. I've been believing that I can get more done through struggle, and peace is perhaps a reward for struggling. I am excited at the idea of a new, happier way of living. Yep, truth will correct all errors in my mind.
If only we could just maybe, is everybody on the WhatsApp where you post that? If we could just read it, every day, it's like, that's what I'm going to do. That was
Yeah.
so beautiful. Just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thanks
What I love. Yeah. Thank you.
to everybody. Amira, did you have something else to add, or I didn't bring your hand down maybe? Okay. Kathleen, bye. Bye, Carla. Bye, Mary Lee. Thanks for taking care of your friend's cat.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.